I've sat in many boardrooms and the chairman says to me, we don't understand your philosophy. I say, my philosophy is winning. What is that? I said, I don't know. I get excited when I play. Who's the bottom of the league now? That's the game I want to win. But when you take a team like this, we've got to build solid culture in the club. If you give me a situation, I can win the league. This is a 30-point team. This is a 40-point team. I'll know that.
So what team is Durban City?
I can't tell you that now. I'll never say that.
The Bafana Bafana job, it's going to be vacant very soon. Is it something you'd ever look into?
Yeah, I'm the right age now.
Okay, Coach Gavin Hunt.
Nice to you.
Yeah, nice to see you in Durban, actually. I know you're here, but I never see you. I only see you
Yeah.
on the side of the field. I went to you guys at Durban City and Amazulu, and hey, I was keeping a close eye on you. I was just looking, are you okay? Are you enjoying Durban? I think that's the first thing. Are you enjoying
It's
Durban?
very different. It's
Yes.
very different. The weather, obviously, is the first thing. And obviously, been coming here for years, playing, obviously, as a player. But you go hotels, airports.
Yeah.
You don't really go out much, you know. I've learned my way around now. I've been here a few months and it's been good. Yeah. People are good.
And you know, we all saw the move not coming, but when it happened, the one question we're asking ourselves is like, at your, I want to say, at this part of your career, because you've been to Hellenic, or you know, everywhere, Morocco Swallows. Actually, I was counting teams that you've coached actually, and I completely left out Morocco Swallows. But then I remember that's when you went there. First game was when you were wearing a suit, huh?
Yeah.
And that's the last time you.
I'll never wear a suit again. No
I
chance.
thought you were gonna wear a suit in Durban.
Hey,
because it's a new,
in the seat.
But like it's the place where you've never coached.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But I mean, everyone thought with Supersport going, maybe Mr. Gavin Hunt would also hang up the whistle. But you got on and took on another challenge. Why?
You see this green grass?
Yeah.
This is my office. I love this space. I love the green grass, coaching players, working with players. It keeps you young. It keeps you innovative. It keeps you trying to progress, trying to what's changing, what's the modern trends, all these type of things. So we're all up to date, you know, with those type of things. But the most important thing is the feeling of winning a football match.
Yeah.
And it lasts maybe an hour after the game, and then obviously forgotten about. But just the feeling when the whistle goes when you won a game, and you know, and you get that satisfaction. Obviously, the other side of the game is the losses, but you learn to accept it. You know what I mean? You have to accept that as part of the game. Not everybody wins football matches.
With age, do you think you've
mellowed?
You've become better at accepting losses?
You do. Do. You have to.
Now I'm asking you, Gavin Hunt.
I've always been very good with a loss.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm down. But when I win a game, I'm not excited. When I lose a game, I don't get too despondent.
Yeah.
Obviously, I try and stay on a level playing field and keep your emotions in check. So you won't find me when after a loss there's more intensity. No, we make sure the intensity is the same every week. You know?
And how do you deal with expectations? Because they're different, right? When you were coaching Chiefs, the expectations are not the same as Durban City. Is it more survival here and making sure you compete, or do you really like pushing yourself and you know, trying to reach whatever Mount Everest has been put in front of you?
Well, I think, Sky, there's an inner ambition in yourself. Obviously, I can't do it myself. I mean, I can only set guidelines. I mean, you could do it if you bought 20 players, and then you can say, well, I don't want him, I want him, and then the expectations are there to win. But when you take a team like this, we've got to build solid culture in the club.
Yeah.
If you stay on the path and you stay committed to what we're trying to do, I think at the long run, you will come out the better. And there's no doubt you'll come out better. Have you got the time to make it better? That's always the question.
Yeah. I guess winning buys you time wherever you are, right?
Well, it doesn't matter where you are. Yeah, winning buys you time. But sometimes winning can also be clouded. I mean, you look at teams this year, Liverpool, the first 4 games they won, did they play well?
Yeah.
Now it's come back to bite them.
Yeah.
They've lost 4 in a row because they were playing badly. We've lost games this year, not playing badly, but lost games on a minor technical, small thing here and there, which wins you games at the top level. So we've got to learn to manage those situations better. A coach, the players, everybody, and understanding of the game intelligence of what's needed. We've lost games now in the last few minutes, in the last few games, which has cost us. If we, protected that or a little bit more stubborn in our ways, or had that mentality of muscle memory of being in these situations before, we will become better.
And when you got to Durban, did you bring the same small suitcase you took to Chippa United, or is Mr. Kadodia more? I don't want to say lean, because at the end of the day, you need to earn your stripes, right?
Yeah.
How big was the suitcase?
Now, what I do, I tell all the young coaches, and I tell any coach, when you unpack your suitcase, leave it by the front door. So every day when you walk past it, you look at it and you think, it could be any day soon.
Yeah.
The minute you pack that suitcase away, you become comfortable. So leave
Yeah.
the suitcase there. It keeps you on your toes every day.
I love that, because I mean the nice thing about it as well is like yes, with the winning and some of the results that we've seen of late, obviously losing back to KZN teams, that I'm sure is quite a difficult one in terms of the scope of KZN.
Yeah. I mean, everybody's going to say this and say that, but I thought Amazulu, certainly, I don't think they should have won. I don't think possibly we shouldn't have won.
Yeah.
Did we have the better of the ball? Yes, we had them in their half. But a draw, it looked like a draw all day long, and obviously they got the points. Sometimes it goes like it. The other game, I mean, we should have seen that game out. There was no danger against Richards Bay, and then you would have been through. So it's been 2 games where it could have changed the mood and complexion completely. You would have had 1 point, you would have taken us 3rd, yes, and you would have been in the next round of the cup. And it's been really fine edge stuff, That's why I say you can never get emotional when you win.
Yeah.
Don't get we've arrived, and don't get emotional when you lose. Look at the facts, look at the situation, and that's all I've tried to do.
Yeah.
Only experience can tell you that.
Yeah.
Because the young coach will panic and make 10 changes and listen to management and listen to everything.
Yeah.
You've got to try and stay in your path and try and what's got us to this point has been this, and we need to improve on this. Can we improve on this? Yes. How do we train? Sometimes I think we train too much.
Yeah.
It's far too much training.
Yeah.
Less is better. And I've been to the Springbok Rugby. I've been to the All Blacks. I've been to the Crusaders, the successful teams in the world. I've spoken to their coaches. Less is better.
Yeah.
You go watch the Springboks train on a test week. My goodness, they're hardly doing anything.
100%. It's all about recovery, right?
It's all about recovery. So in the week, we shouldn't be. It's not about how much training you do. And it's like I always say to you, when a chairman phones you on a Friday, how's the team? No, chairman, we're training well. We look good. And then you lose Saturday. He says, well, you told me they look good because we've overtrained. And then you undertrain. And you say to the chairman, we don't look good on Friday. We're not looking good. And then you win on a Saturday. And he says, well, but you told me they would look bad. I said, because that's the cycle of how this thing works.
How do those conversations go actually with the chairman? Because I love the insights you're giving us here. Is it a he calls you when you've just lost back to back?
Well, you get more calls when you lose than when you win.
Yeah, but I mean, also maybe you're on this great run and you're playing Kaizer Chiefs this week.
Yeah.
I'm sure even. I wouldn't say he's more hands-on. It's a big game. Everyone is watching that game. It's the one that he also
That's
wants.
the problem you have in South African football.
Yeah.
With club owners. I'm not saying Durban City.
Yeah.
Club owners get excited when you play these type of games.
Yeah.
I get excited when I play, who's the bottom of the league now? Chipper. Because that's the game I want to win.
Yeah.
Because that we should be, you know what I'm trying to say to you? And I've won leagues and won many trophies by not concentrating on the big teams.
Yeah.
By concentrating on the games, you say to yourself, geez, these are the games we need to win. And when we get to the big teams, we will be better and we will get something out of it. Sometimes not, sometimes yes. So I hate it when everybody, there's this big build up to a game like this, and then last week you lose to the bottom team. Do you understand what I'm saying? So you've got to be very careful. And I think it's like that all over the world. If teams play Real Madrid or Barcelona, they all play in Real Madrid or something like that. But I think you've got to be very careful because you can get sucked up in the whole occasion. And then you come away with your back being rubbed or your head being rubbed, or you did so well and you end up losing.
Yeah.
And then you say, but don't worry, we played so well. But you lost the last week to the bottom of the league team. That's more important for me.
Or you hear us on TV telling you how negative you were against Chiefs on Friday or against a big team and Sundowns. And how do you react to that? Because, I mean, what you say...
Well, if somebody's got... I always listen to people if I feel that they've got stature in the game.
Yeah.
Sorry to say it.
Yeah.
Pundits I can't listen to.
Yes.
Because somebody's going to win 3-0. Okay, you tell me why they're going to win 3-0.
Sure case.
What is if you give me a tactical analysis of why you think they are better than this opposition, then I'll listen to them. But when people say, you know what happens in South Africa? When the team loses, the coach's tactics were wrong. When the coach wins, his tactics were great. Well, I don't think so.
Yeah.
I don't think it works like that. If you analyze the game and say, well, that shouldn't have happened, that shouldn't have happened, that shouldn't have happened, and maybe the goalkeeper should have
There's always a story leading up to the final.
But don't say the tactics were wrong. Hold on a minute.
Yeah.
Tactics. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Now let's talk about tactics. The one thing over the years you've spoken about and you've been very open about is this whole philosophy in football. You spoke about how Pep Guardiola has killed the game. You know, like
no, he's influenced the
he's influenced the game.
because the copying has been there. Now he's changed,
Yeah.
and now maybe we'll have another change in the world of football.
What's your philosophy, Gav?
My philosophy is winning. So I've sat in many boardrooms, and the chairman says to me, "We don't understand your philosophy." I say, "My philosophy is winning." What is that? I said, "I don't know." The Springbok rugby team, what is their philosophy? They're winning. When they don't win, no, because now they're playing too expensive rugby,
Yeah.
or they're playing too much kicking rugby. Now we talk the philosophy. It's like Man United. Everybody, when they're losing, 3-4-3 is a problem. When they're winning, in 4 games now, nobody said a word about 3-4-3.
100%.
So what's the philosophy?
Yeah.
That's winning.
It's also stats, right? I was saying the other day that the worst stat for me in football is this XG. You know, you've
XG is, do we score or don't score?
yeah, you know what I mean. But also you've just drawn
These-
the 0-0, but you're expected.
These are
Yeah.
these are stats when coaches talk to chairman.
Yes.
And they say, "Look, chairman, we lost the game, but we had possession, we had 10 chances."
Yeah.
And then you buy the chairman, you buy by the time of the chairman. That's
Yeah.
nonsense. That's nonsense for me.
Yeah.
Do I want to play nice football? Of course you want to play nice football. Do I want to watch something that I can enjoy? Of course. But the bottom line is winning.
Yeah, and also work with what you have. Because my next question would be, okay, let's
You should-
formation philosophy.
Yes.
Right. Okay. Do you pick players for philosophy, or do you get to Durban City and see what's okay? I need a Darren Keats, I need a Nodada, I need these players, and then you build a philosophy for them, or a way of playing.
So you come to a club like Durban City, you
Yeah.
see what the availables of the players, what they've got.
Yeah.
What made them win the league last year. So you take a bit of that.
Yeah.
If I come in here and break down every door that's been built here from last year's team, I mean, you could either hit the ground running or you could hit the zero.
Yeah.
So what I do, when you go to any club, you build a team shape around what you've got.
Yeah.
If you're certain clubs, I won't mention their names.
Yeah.
I need a left winger. I'm just going to buy a left winger and put him in the DDC team. No, yeah, I'm not going to go there. I'm going to buy a left winger, and because I need a left winger, I'm going to buy a striker because I need a striker. We not in that position, right? So we've got to build a team around what we've got and the players we brought in to strengthen the squad, which we've done, and then try and build a philosophy around it and put people in sometimes situations where they're not really comfortable or not really good, but it's good for the benefit of the team. So that's how you build a team.
Yeah.
If you give me a situation, I can win the league.
Yeah.
If you give me that situation. But I know when you've got something right, this is a 30-point team, this is a 40-point team. I'll know that.
So what team is Durban City?
I can't tell you that now. I'll never say that.
You'll never tell us now.
I've got it written
But
down. I've got it written down in an envelope, taped away, and I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But what you can tell me though is Friday, Kaizer Chiefs
Yes.
in town. Whenever there's Kaizer Chiefs and Gavin Hunt, ever since what happened when you coached them, it's a big headline, and the question is always there. How big is this game for you on a club level? And is it as big for you on a personal level? Because it's also what happened. And a football lover, and I said this the other day, I think I said this to you. I've seen a Leicester City fire Claude Ranieri after he did the impossible thing in the history of football. And then you were dealt those chips at Chiefs where you couldn't, you couldn't, I think you nearly called me up to play for you.
Yeah,
Said nothing.
yeah.
Or you nearly unretired Brighton. How big is that? Is that still back of your mind, Guti? You were never given a proper chance there?
When I was a player, let's go back a little bit. When I was a player in the 80s,
Yeah.
Chiefs were, I love that, the perm look, the black like me, and all the best looking guys, and everything, and they had the swagger and the suits. And so you always admired that.
Yeah.
And it was a club that was winning in the 80s. They were winning trophies. I mean, they were the top side. There was no Pirates and Sundowns and things like that. So you always, and then when you get into the coaching in the 90s, I come into the coaching circle, they were still there and thereabouts, but they dropped off a little bit. They weren't as dominant as before.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then they sort of picked up, then they picked up later. But when you sort of say, well, you're coaching and you're going along, you say, well, that's really a job where, and if you look at the situation, it was COVID. I would never have left Wits. I was there.
Yeah.
We were winning. Today we would have won the league again, Wits, no doubt about it. And we won a few cups because we had everything there and the team was going. And you lose your job. and they lose the league and they fire the coach, which I still don't understand today.
Mm.
Fired Ernst, should have kept him there. He came second, and then you go into a situation where players are really at the end of it. A lot of them at the end.
Yeah.
At the end, and that's the truth. And we go in the league, and we're not too. And the first 3 games are Sundowns, Pirates. First 3 games, hammer, get lost. I'm thinking to myself, looking at the team, Nolkovic doesn't want to play. He's thrown the towel in. Billiard broke his leg. We had Cashto up front on one leg, literally, and that was the team. And then you had players who really had done. Kasande was done. Eric was done. They were done. We had to revive the team. The undertaking was they're going to revive the team. Blah 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 blah, and they said, okay, fine, and then we go in the Champions League, don't we?
Yeah.
And we come and
you took the N1 is there, like,
Yeah.
no, I'll go for, and
like Trevor Noah says, but I'll meet you that side. I'll meet you there.
Yeah.
And it's the point, because I knew we couldn't go on 2 fronts, and I thought, we're safe in the league. We'll make the top 8. But that's not good enough, and the results weren't good enough in the league. I understand that. So, but yeah. Is it something that obviously hurts me, because if you go in, I go in and then you get people back in the stadium. You go as a coach, you revive the team like Nabi's done. Nabi or these guys. You bring in play. You can bring in your play. Build a team around it. I think you could go and really go close with that force behind you. I mean, that people underestimate. People see Kaizer Chiefs and the force. Look at Orlando Pirates now with that home base. That force that it drags teams over the line.
Yes, 100%.
And the teams that I've won leagues with, we've had to be 10 points better than them.
Yeah.
Because we've had no supporters.
Yeah.
And to win leagues, and then you go in the cold room like that, and you're thinking, my goodness, we're on the back foot. We're top of the league, but we're on the back foot here. And you're on the back foot because the support base grabs them and pulls them over the line. And especially in a place like Durban, where they get more supporters than they do it at home.
Yeah.
So it's a club that obviously you wanted to have that. I wanted to experience a derby. I never experienced.
Yeah.
I had a derby where you could hear my voice.
Yeah.
It was, and we won the last derby. There was only one I won, but I lost the cup game, and they lost, the 2 cup games. But I didn't experience that. So, did I really have any experience then? No, there was no real experience of what it's actually like. You could feel it's a huge
club.
It's a fantastic club. I mean, it's well run. It's a fantastic club. I mean, they've done Kaizer Senior, what he's built there and you can feel it, but you can't feel it when there's no supporters and there's no. I mean, that league season, those 2, there was no atmosphere in the league.
Yeah.
It was difficult to play.
But how big will the scalp be now on with that story, with that history?
There's no. I'm not like that.
Yeah.
I've fallen out with people, and you fall out with people in football. It's a natural thing.
Yeah.
But when I see them again, I can look them in the eye. I shake hands, and how you doing, and and you move on, and you don't even talk about what's gone on before. I'm funny like that. I'm like that with a player. I'll fall out with you now, but 5 minutes later, it's done. You know what I mean?
Klopp spoke to me the other day and says he would never coach anyone else in the Premier League unless it's Liverpool. Would you ever go back to Chiefs if the chance presented itself? With obviously there's difference now of there is the transfer you can make.
Yeah.
They look like they are starting to punch again.
Yeah, of course.
And not disrespect to Durban City, but I mean Chiefs are in the market for a new coach, to be honest, because they got caretakers. You got Orlando Pirates, who's got Wadu, and of course the jury is on there for Cardozo. Would you go back to Chiefs?
I think Sky that I think going to coaching is all about timing.
Yeah.
And I've had bad timing. Bad timing. The Wits was a bad timing.
Yeah.
It was bad. I mean,
and you kind of had to jump on this Chiefs.
Yeah, you jump because
yeah.
you players all leaving. It was like a meat market. It was the clubs came in, they gutted our team. We built that team, and the team just got gutted over a month or 2. And then, I say to myself and our staff, I shame my assistant coach today had to move back overseas, or he just went back, and myself, and we got Tyron, the goalkeeping coach, went to Simba, and he dies at Pirates, and a few other guys lost their jobs, and then it was me. I said, well, like, what happens now,
Yeah.
And you go from a situation where it was really, I wouldn't say comfortable, but you're really in a good environment where everything's been set in place. I look at Steve Bog, he's been here 8, 9 years. I was there 6, 7 years. I would have been here 10 years, 12 years.
Yeah.
And then moved upstairs maybe or something, you know what I'm saying? That was the ultimate plan.
Quickly, coach, let's talk about Bafana Bafana. As a coach, can you understand how a Brady Grobler is not in the mix at Bafana?
Yes and no. If he's fit, maybe not now with his age, but if I'm talking about he started 4 years ago. I think Bruce was it 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah, 2021.
A fit Bradley, you've got to be in the squad because goals, he can hold the ball.
Yeah.
He's fantastic in the air. He can lead the line for you. All these type of things that what he's done with Evidence and Lyle Foster. Maybe Lyle Foster's got a little bit more mobility. So he's wanted a little bit mobility, but
he's also brought in Cupido now.
Yeah, which was the youngster.
Yeah.
It's maybe saying, I'm looking at you for the next 6 months to get in the World Cup squad.
Yeah.
The World Cup squad is going to be interesting because I think that there's a lot of players now that won't make the squad.
Yes.
I'm telling you. It's going to be like it.
And how much of that in a World Cup squad? I mean,
I think we made a mistake in 2010. Benny McCarthy.
Yeah.
He was overweight. He was fat, but you got to put him in the squad.
Yeah.
And they put a midfield player in the squad, which they weren't going to use, or I don't know what they did, whatever the situation was. And Benny had to be in the squad.
4 squads like AFCON, like the World Cup. How much of is it 60% is the guys that have been trialed and tested that have been doing well? Maybe the 20% is the Sipambules of the world who just new club, they're playing well.
Because 6 months
and then maybe the 10% of the most informed player in the league who just has to be there. Do you look at it like that when you're setting a squad, or?
I think that goes position specific more.
Yeah.
Because you might have a guy who comes out of nowhere now in the next 6 months, 8 months, which can happen.
Yeah.
6 months football for a long time. 6 hours a long time.
Yeah.
And you might have a guy who they in a position where they are quite short. I mean, you take Capella Maseko.
Yes.
On the left wing, Sundowns. He goes to the Nations Cup. Yes?
Yes.
He plays, he scores. Now he's out of the picture playing DDC football.
Yeah.
Okay. Does he go in? He's got to go because they don't have a left-footed, natural left winger.
Yeah.
So in that position, if he gets playing again, I'm saying you've got to take him with. You know what I'm saying? If he gets play.
Yeah.
And so I think a lot of it's where the positions are. There's a couple of guys who now in the media, they've gone to other clubs. They were regulars at their clubs. You don't mention names. You know what I'm talking about.
Yes, sir.
And now they go to another club and they don't play. They're not going to the World Cup. They're not going to the Nations Cup.
Yeah, but Temekosi Lodge is dominating at the top there.
So in whose place are you going to play ahead of? You know what I'm saying?
No, I'm asking you, coach.
For me, I think that the wide players they've got are excellent.
Yeah.
Apollos has come from nowhere.
Yeah.
Morebi.
Yeah.
He's huge pace.
100%.
And they've got.
And he also plays Morena there.
You do understand?
He likes the Mudal Morena combination.
And I think the secret of any good coach is to have to trust your players.
The Bafana job, it's going to be vacant. It's going to be vacant very soon. This time next year, it's going to be vacant, coach. Is it something you'd ever look into?
Yeah, I'm the right age now.
At this, now you're the right age.
Yeah, 10 years. They asked me the question. So 2010, obviously, I went for the interview.
Yeah.
You sat in that room there and had all these people interviewing you. And then I think again in 2014, 15, I went again for another interview. And, and obviously they gave it to Pereira, and then Gordon. And then, so it was sort of, okay, well, that's not going to happen, And then obviously Hugo's come in, done a brilliant job. And I've always said, a national team manager should be managed by an older person.
Yes.
He's got a lot of scar tissue. He's got a lot of experience. He's got a lot of, he knows how to accept situations. You know what I'm saying? You get a younger guy in, you want to coach the team. For me, a national team coach is a selector.
Yeah.
You're not a coach.
Yeah. You don't have the time to.
You select. You got 2 days, 3 days. You're pulling them in, putting them together. Okay, that one didn't work. The next camp, I'm pulling him in.
Yeah.
I'm pulling him in. But he worked, that worked. You don't have time. You don't have time.
Yeah.
You got to ask those players now how much coaching he's actually doing.
Yeah.
Like, puts him in a setup, put him in a formation. Okay, it's running.
Yeah.
I'm saying at the start of it, when he came in, they were playing 4-3-3. Now you want to change it to 4-2-3-1, which they're playing now.
Yeah.
I'm just giving you a structural setup. Now we need, okay, Apollos was nowhere in the mix 3-6 months ago. Nowhere in the mix. Now he's like main guy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, listen, the job will be vacant very soon, and I'm sure they're gonna advertise.
I just think I've always said a national team coach, and this is no reflection of Hugo or anybody, should be managed by your own nationality.
Yeah.
It's like England, they've got a German. I mean, honestly.
Yeah. I know there's still cups coming. Nedbank Cup is still coming. Unfortunately, your team is out of the calling knockout with your goalkeeper who said doesn't want 100,000, by the way.
Well, I see. Give it to me if you want.
Yeah, exactly. I want to say, what did you do with 100,000 now, coach? Yeah, because you have money. Coach.
No, what I would do with 100,000, I would certainly be taking the players we're taking them out, and like he's going to do, Darren.
Yeah.
I've spoken to him.
Durban City, Kaizer Chiefs on Friday. Kaizer Chiefs coming off the high of qualifying for the group stages of the Confed Cup. I'm sure you saw them there. Or Tshabalala doing Shushan piano. You saw Bradley Cross there. Something that you don't like, coach. So the boys, they Chiefs is, I guess, confident. They're also coming to Durban. I think the last time they had Moses Mapida Stadium, they beat Golden Arrows. Yeah, it's your home game, but away. Is that a fair thing to say? It's your home
100%,
game,
100%.
but away.
I think if you look at our results at Chatsworth,
Yeah,
it's for everybody there to see.
and you would have loved the game to be at Chatsworth.
Let's not even go there.
Yeah,
It's like when I was at Wits, we used to fight. They wanted to take it to the stadium. We used to play at Wits, and then you
get the result.
The results were there. You saw it. So you're going into. It's very difficult because you're going to go into a very much away scenario.
Yeah.
Even though you're in Durban, because of the supporters are going to be tenfold more. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? And yeah, it is what it is. We have to face it.
And also, you try to start a tradition here. It would have been great if the tradition was in Chatsworth on a Friday night, as per Durban City, with the mainstay sales going up. But now it's
Cake and the Coke, mate.
and the Coke, mainstay and Coke.
Cane and Coke.
Yeah. I enjoying Chatsworth, but there's a
I love it there. I've come from a playing background of Friday nights.
Yes.
Then I come from a coaching background, Super Sport Friday nights, Wits Friday nights. For me, Friday nights has always been a football night.
Yes.
Durban's always been football Friday. Cape Town Friday nights football. Johannesburg not so much.
Yeah.
But Wits we
Maritzburg was football Friday.
When I was
They never
Wits,
used
I
to-
changed everything Friday nights.
Yeah.
And the results were there. It creates a culture, tradition. People that they're playing home Friday night. There we going.
Yeah.
And night game always gives you more atmosphere.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. The game is quicker.
And the
better.
kickoff is perfect. It's not like at 6 o'clock where people are running to the
Yeah,
stadium.
yeah.
By the time there's
Yeah,
kickoff, it's
yeah.
going to be.
And access. Well, I think access obviously Moses is much easier.
Yeah.
Things,
And if you look at the form of both teams in the league, coach, Chiefs have not been great in the league of late. Where I think
he was never right off Kaizer Chiefs.
yes,
I think that's they turn it like that.
Yeah.
In a game like Sunday, it can just give you a little bit more confidence.
yeah,
They got a good squad of players. They've obviously maybe got a too big a squad there, and they haven't found their. Sometimes it takes a few games to find that little. Actually, he fits better there, and he fits better. And sometimes it happens at a big club like that. I mean, a lot of these clubs, Pirates, they got squads of 30, 40 players. And everyone is just as good as the next one.
yeah.
Who plays? Who leaves out? And I think Chiefs have maybe got the same problem. A lot of players have come in. A lot of players, there's a big turnover.
They've started introducing those players.
And there's a big turnover.
Where
And people
God's
think-
power.
So the supporter obviously doesn't care about that. He
Yes.
just sees, and he wants every season. He wants to see who they're signing. Well, maybe we don't need signings this
Yeah.
season. You know what I'm saying? And they bring 12 in, but that means it's extra 12. So that means 7 are leaving or 6 are leaving or whatever. So you've got to be very careful. You'll see any successful team anywhere in the world uses less players.
Yeah,
Think about it. They use less players. So you'll see a team that winning 17, 18, 16, 18. There's no some guy from left field comes in the team because or whatever,
Yeah.
So you've got to earn the right to get in their team, but they've got to be winning, obviously,
Yeah.
and be consistent.
last thing from me. What's the one thing you're really looking forward to from your team
On Saturday.
on Friday night?
I always say to you, the only thing you can control is the performance.
Yeah,
The results you cannot control. We need a good performance from our team, a committed performance, a good tactical organization, which is we work big on, and in possession, out of possession, and that's important for us. And create chances and deny the opposition chances. How you do that, you can talk all day,
Yeah.
about this thing. But as long as we give a good honest, and you come off that field, you say we gave our best.
Do you like the Sibonisa campaign you're seeing on TV and the stadiums and people dressing up and?
Any innovative ways to bring people into the stadium. I think if you look at this season,
Yeah.
there's certainly been an upturn of football.
No, 100%.
I don't know what the attendance figures are, but there's huge upturn. There's a bigger interest. People are I mean, some of the games have been fantastic.
Yeah.
Because just the atmosphere.
Yeah.
Mm.
No, that's great. There'll be a big game on Friday. It's
Yeah.
going to be 60,000 people, coach. I'll be shouting for someone.
Yeah.
If you can hear me, coach.
It's okay.
And we'll hopefully link up straight after this.
Thank you, my man.
Coach, thanks so much. I
Come on,
appreciate it.
Okay.
Durban City coach, the legend, Gavin Hunt for Smash Sports.